Well, we are live from the SBI Live studio and quickly talking about Vodafone Idea. Those flashes still coming in from the con call. Plans of 50 to 55,000 crore capex. That remains as is. That doesn't change. But it's going to be financed via lender support and fundraising discussions, which are yet to happen. That will obviously depend on AGR and the judgment, which is on your screen. So plenty of moving parts there. Kunal, you were positive with regard to a Vodafone earlier this morning. Continue to remain so after the move today?
Yeah, broadly. So 10.5 is where we've pegged the targets for Vodafone Idea.
Yeah.
The stock seems to have come closer to those kind of levels. Intraday traders, I think for them, I think booking profits over here makes a lot of sense. But this also tells you that this is the third attempt, I think if I'm not wrong, for the stock towards 10.5 or breakout mark. And we've seen time and again that when a stock retests a certain resistance level, with every new low being on the higher side, subsequently that's an indication that the stock is getting ready for a breakout on the upside. So positionally, for the next 3 months or so, I would still believe that the stock is good to go for another 20 to 25% on the upside. But short-term wise, maybe for the next couple of days, you might see some bit of cool-off happening over here.
You know, the top gainer on the Nifty today is an Indigo. Shivangi, Interglobe Aviation, would that at all feature on your list of buy calls? And what do you make of the 3% move today?
Hey, Harsh, Indigo has been my preferred pick, and this bounce was a good indication. And of course, we've seen that on the weekly basis, it is respecting its major support levels quite well. In fact, positionally as well as for short-term traders, this level would be a good time to buy in. And we've seen the stock is now trading above its 50 DEMA, which is quite positive. And immediate basis, we've seen a lot of IVs cool off, which indicates that bulls are quite comfortable at these levels. We're expecting the next targets towards 6,000 odd levels for Indigo with a support of 5650 levels.
All right, so that's about Interglobe Aviation. Today, we also had the news flow coming in on Interglobe, where the company plans a codeshare partnership with China Southern East Airline. So that's one of the other big movers today. And along with that, the company has also commenced direct flights from New Delhi to China. And because of that, we have seen a good move coming in on Interglobe Aviation. But the other big mover today within the F&O pack as well has been Bharat Forge. The numbers came by during 1 or 2 p.m. The numbers were actually a bit better than what the street was penciling in. But along with that, look at the management commentary. Firstly, on to the negative side, they're saying that the quarterly performance was impacted by a sharp decline that they have seen in the North America truck production. But along with that, they are also saying that they are witnessing that the exports into that region is seen to be declining further in the second half of FY26. But on the flip side, the company is also highlighting the fact that the defense order book is quite very strong right now. The business front, they expect to conclude more orders on their defense side as well. And it's India business that is doing very well for Bharat Forge. They have won for platforms, for newer projects, and they wish to participate more in the times ahead. I think post the first flash of the commentary with respect to where they say that they are witnessing exports in the North America region to decline further in the second half, we have seen that blip coming in on Bharat Forge. But post that, the kind of order wins that they have seen in the defense basket, the India business is holding very strong. We have seen a fantastic run up from those 1300 levels coming in for Bharat Forge, almost a 5% jump on that particular counter. But Shivangi, if I can have your take as well with respect to Bharat Forge, because this stock as well, I believe, has been one of those beaten down names and reacts very sharply with respect to the earnings as well as the management commentary. One such day is today. What's your sense on Bharat Forge?
Absolutely. Bharat Forge has been one stock which has been quite volatile. But then talking about the overall structure, it is quite positive and it is holding up from the last 11 odd weeks. We've seen that the volumes have spiked in today's session, which is quite positive. And we're expecting that any bounce from here would be a good level to buy in. And of course, there is a lot of frenzy today, but overall, the structure of the long term is also intact. And we're expecting around about 1450 odd levels in this one with a support of 1360. So
Okay. All right. What we do is we'll slip into another very short break, but some of the big movers, especially in terms of numbers, I want to quickly flag those off before we go into break. And we'll talk about some of them post the break. There's Emcure Pharma, which came out with numbers 3% lower. There's TVS Sri Chakra also, which is down. Redken is down 2.4 odd percent. Atul Auto is doing extraordinarily well, 11% higher, that stock. We talk about that. Borosil Renewables too, up around 2.5 odd percent. Rights also doing fairly well for itself. That margin expansion in rights looking very, very good. We'll talk about that and more. Stay with us here on EPR. Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Now, we were talking about some big movers, especially on the back of numbers. And, let me firstly bring on board Sunil Subramanian, who is founder and CEO at Sense and Simplicity. Great having you here, sir. And Shivangi, of course, is still with us. Shivangi, your take on a Bharat Forge, if you already haven't taken a view from you on this one?
Yes, Harsh, Bharat Forge, we've discussed. The stock looks quite positive, and we've seen that the price volume surge in today's session is quite, well. We've seen that on the weekly basis, it has, bottoming out structure, and we are expecting around about targets of 1450 on this one with a support of 1360 level.
All right, so that's the take coming in on Bharat Forge. A stellar move in today's trading session is what we have already seen. But with this, Shivangi, we let you go. So good having you on the channel today. Always a pleasure.